Hi, I'm Katherine reporting for Kids First, and today I have the opportunity to speak with Luke David Blumm about the new film Lost on a Mountain in Maine. Luke is known for his roles in Lola, Sun, and The Watcher. He plays a title role in Lost on a Mountain in Maine, which is based on a true story, following 12-year-old Donn Fendler as he gets lost on a mountain in Maine and miraculously survives for 9 days before he is found. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Let's get started. This is an incredible story about survival. Do you think if you got lost on a mountain in Maine, would you survive?
I don't think so, honestly. I mean, it was such a miracle that he survived, and that's said so many times throughout the movie. But it really is so incredible that a 12-year-old survived for 9 days in such a harsh environment. If you ever go to that mountain, it's crazy over there. But I do not think I would survive.
Do you think that if there were any helpful tips that you learned from this movie, like, is there something that maybe someone would keep in mind if they were ever in this situation?
Probably follow water is like the most important thing. That's applicable to every single survival situation when you're like lost out somewhere. Just following water is good.
Yeah, I noticed that in the film and I was like, "Oh, if I ever get lost on a camping trip, I should probably remember that." Donn Fendler had to survive on food he either caught or foraged for, including raw fish. So, do you think you would be able to be so resourceful?
I don't. If I could get that, it all depends on like what time it is for like catching fish and stuff. But I
Right.
should hope that I'd be able to be like that. I mean, it's catching a fish. I've caught fish before. Actually, that first of all, in the movie, that fish was a real fish. But I've been vegan for the last like 3 years, so
Oh.
I was like horrible eating that fish. It was terrible.
So,
I had scales stuck in my teeth. It was terrible.
so you actually had to eat that fish?
I actually had to eat the fish. I didn't swallow it. I
Wow.
spit it out, but like it was pretty gross. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, have you found a newfound love of sushi?
Unfortunately, no. Might have made it a little better then, but
Yep. After playing this role, are there any items that you're never gonna leave home without, in case you got lost?
I have a little like bag of stuff for whenever we go like camping or anything. It's got it's got like some tools, it's got a fire starter, it's got a whistle, which is really helpful. It's got a headlight. It's got a bunch of stuff in there. So I always bring that whenever I go into the woods.
So I take it you go camping a lot then.
We go camping like once or twice a year, sometimes 3 times, but yeah,
I guess it's definitely helpful to have that prepared kit just to take whenever you're
just
going.
in case. Yeah.
Definitely a good idea. As the movie develops, Don travels farther and farther through the mountains, and he gets quite a bit roughed up, I would say. What was your makeup and wardrobe process like for those scenes? Because it definitely looked like you just spent, 9 days in a
Nine
mountain.
days in a mountain. Yeah, that was really it was pretty bad. I spent a lot of time in the makeup chair. I think the most time I ever spent was in the movie Sun that I did. It's back there. Um, that I had to spend like 3 hours in a makeup chair for a bunch of like prosthetics and stuff. But for this movie, I think it was an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how heavy the makeup was gonna be. There's a little clip on my Instagram at Luke David Blumm official that shows me in the makeup chair for that, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, I guess you probably wouldn't think about that. Like you have to do makeup to make you look like you've actually experienced this, but I feel like
Yeah.
that could take some time.
Yeah, especially when you have to like put a bunch of it on and then take it all off and then put it
Right.
back on again because of how like filming schedules are super weird like that.
Yes, I bet. I bet. Well, I heard you filmed on or in the wilderness, like in the actual wilderness.
Yeah.
So, did you guys ever have to stay overnight on the location?
Oh God, no.
No.
That would be terrible. I'm very glad that we didn't have to do that, but no, we never had to stay overnight. I I always they had this little it wasn't little actually. I had a cabin that they rented out for us that I would always go back to, which was very nice. it was a really nice place. That's what I did.
Yes, that's probably good. I feel like it would definitely be rough to stay overnight,
Oh yeah,
especially if it got cold or anything. That would not be great.
yeah. I can't. I
Uh,
have no idea how Don lived like that.
oh yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know if I could ever, I could
I
ever
don't
do
think
that.
I could.
Were there any particular locations that you really liked filming on?
Oh my God, yes. There was this one place in the scene where I get leeches on me in like a little swimming area, I guess you'd call it. That place, there was like a waterfall kind of thing. There was a river that had a little gap in it. That place was super fun during the lunch break, which was 30 minutes. Everybody brought bathing suits and we all swam in the swimming hole, and it was super fun. That was amazing.
That
Best
does sound
memory of
really
filming.
fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Were those leeches like did they CGI that or was that like did they do
They were they
props?
were they were dead leeches. They were for fishing. They were like
Oh,
fishing
okay.
leeches,
Got you.
but they were real, technically.
That's I guess a little scary even if they're not alive. Don's father is insistent on making him a man. He's very traditional, a very traditional father, I guess. And uh, Don's twin brother, you don't always like see eye to eye. You kind of argue as siblings
Yeah.
do. And there are a lot of intense scenes between Don and these two. How did you create and maintain that type of tension?
During we had a day of rehearsal, just like a fun thing. Mostly it was just everybody got to know each other before we started filming, and we practiced the car scene, which you'll know what I'm talking about. That scene, we me and Griffin was his name. We got along like really well throughout the whole thing, but we could bring the heat when we needed to. We could get in a fight. That I don't know. We just got angry at each other. It's all acting anyway.
That is true. It is all acting. What messages do you hope that audiences will take away from this film?
In this movie, there's a lot of like bad relationships, especially with Don and his father, and I just think that there should be nothing left unsaid between people. Otherwise, that's how the tension started between these two in the movie and in real life. So tell your loved ones that you love them and don't get lost on a mountain.
That's definitely a good one for sure. Yeah, I think that, I mean, even just making that a habit just by simple things, like if you're getting off the phone with your parents or your siblings, just, saying you love them or just, saying how you feel. I think that's definitely a really good message to take away. So thank you so much for talking with me today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Lost on a Mountain in Maine releases in theaters on November 1st, 2024, so be sure to look out for it. I'm Katherine reporting for Kids First. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss my next interview or those of my awesome team members. See you later. Bye!